back to the internet's best reactions. Today we're diving into the Qatar Grand Prix. Formula One has never been there before. We didn't know what to expect, and to be fair, the circuit kind of delivered for overtaking, didn't it? Also, what delivered was your reactions. Let's dive into them right now. Right, let's start at the very beginning, as we always do. At XYTrixZ, Bottas on lap 1. Now, this whole episode isn't going to be about Valtteri Bottas, but some of it was certainly bad luck for the poor man. But this part, I don't know, I'm going to put it a little bit in bad luck because of the fact he started on the dirty side of the grid, but it was also Valtteri things just managing to have a really bad lap 1. I'm sure Toto Wolff gave him one job, which was to keep Verstappen behind, who was starting directly behind him, and it lasted about 3 metres. Now, I can't say this next name, otherwise we'll get demonetised, so I'm just going to call you Alonso when he glimpsed Verstappen in the rear view. Of course, for Alonso starting P3 on the soft tyres behind Hamilton, obviously was on pole, but on the mediums, Gasly was starting on the dirty side of the grid. I had all of my Fernando Alonso hype banners out, ready for an incredible launch by that Alpine. It didn't quite happen because Hamilton just gave Gasly the slipstream. He knew what he was doing, but Alonso still was making some serious moves. Nearly moved into Max's car, which Max was very fortunate, but also aware to see Alonso coming. Then Alonso, after nearly wiping Max out, then just swoops past Gasly and up into P2. Yes, Fernando. At Michael Grimwoo 5, Gasly runs wide and Max gets through. It was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? You know, of course, they can't make it too blatant as they are two very different teams, but at the same time, they would have known their instructions coming into this race, and Gasly ran wide, and I think he actually closed his DRS as well when he was going down the straight. So it was pretty obvious that he was letting Max through, and then Perez a little bit later on as well. So yeah, it was quite obvious AlphaTauri were not going to get in the way. Another meme on that, at Wow Benfica, I think I've just ruined your name, sorry. Gasly missing the last corner and Max overtaking. Oops, indeed. There's a bit of a blundering commentary as well, which a lot of you got on, so I thought I would include this in this week's Internet's Best Reactions. At K De Bruyne, Crofty, Max Verstappen replacing Pierre Gasly in 2016 and winning his first race. That was poor Gasly. He was not replaced then, a little bit later on. But yeah, a lot of you put that submission in, so there you go. At Oxwill, me before the race, me during the race. Of course, the whole hope was Hamilton was going to get overtaken into turn 1 so that we would have some sort of train, I suppose. Of course, we were expecting overtaking to be quite difficult. It wasn't actually as difficult as maybe some of us thought. So whether Hamilton would have been caught for like 2 laps behind an Alonso or a Gasly, who knows? But at the same time, we knew as soon as Hamilton was clear through turn 1, it was pretty much game over. At PC5408, Toto, come on Valtteri, let's get these cars. I did like that. Of course, Valtteri wasn't making many moves. I think he was about 11th when this team radio call came in and was just kind of chilling behind as Valtteri does. He doesn't just go for it straight away. He'll have sort of 20 laps of just mediocreness, and then eventually he will then try and make some moves, which he did in the end and was looking pretty set maybe for a P3 against Perez. But like at the start, he just seemed to not move at all. So Toto coming on the radio is quite obviously a hurry up. This one made me laugh. At Mayblach, Toto yelling at Bottas to drive better. Bottas. It's very true. I mean, Bottas owes them nothing at this stage. He has been a wingman many times. And look, if he wants to have a nice Sunday drive in the midfield, that's on him. You know, they can't really do anything. Maybe they can, I don't know what's in his contract, but if he just chills, doesn't drive at 100%, what are they going to do? At Casito_NL, there are a lot of memes on this, as you can tell. Toto to Bottas be like. I promise, it's not going to be all about Bottas. It isn't. At Alex_Dalba07, Hamilton to Verstappen. This is a new one. Usually it's the Office meme where it's Dwight and, oh God, the short blonde lady. Can't remember her name straight away. But either or, it's similar. Usually that, but this time it's a little bit of a, oh no, I've forgotten the name of it. Squid Game, that was it. I was about to call it the Licky Honeycomb thing, but that's definitely not the name of the show. At Will Amos 13, Alonso seeing Lewis and Max drive off into the distance. Of course, Fernando was looking pretty racy in those first few laps. Of course, the soft tyres quicker to get up to temperature and get into a working window. So he was kind of staying with Lewis for a couple of laps. And then once Max sort of got through, they just cleared off. Honestly, the pace of those two this weekend, and generally speaking, most of the season, has just been mind-boggling to watch.
Who has won Tweet of the Week?
Right, Tweet of the Week time now, and this one was simple, effective, straight out the door, and you're going to win an amazing Fanatec prize. It goes to @AGingerBambino, Bottas helping Hamilton. I said this whole episode wasn't going to be about Bottas, but I seem to keep sort of just coming back to Bottas. I love the guy. I wanted to do well, genuinely. I'm not taking the mickey, but it's your fault. You're the one submitting all these Bottas memes. They're funny. And well done, Faye. You win an amazing Fanatec prize. @Infor_Mueller1. Lewis, my tyres are good. Don't stop me too early. Mercedes. I found that very interesting. I know usually the pit stop sort of team radio, graphics, all that sort of stuff. It's usually a lap or two behind once it's been processed by the F1 TV crew. But I just loved it. It was like, yeah, no, I don't want to come in. Don't stop me too early, man. Don't do it. Literally 3 seconds later, box. And then, of course, there was a little bit of disagreement. Oh, we pitted too early, etc., etc. But who knows? With the tyres being a little bit iffy, they blowing up at the end of the race, yeah, maybe it was a good idea to get off those mediums. I say mediums like they were the ones blowing up, but you know what I mean. The mediums, of course, are a bit softer, therefore maybe a little bit less durable. And, of course, Bottas's medium was the one that blew up. @DynastyHater45, Hamilton not complaining about his tyres. Wait, that's illegal. No, it wasn't. I mean, technically, if we're gonna get VAR out and the terms and conditions here, he did complain, just not about the wear of his tyres. He was still complaining technically about his tyres and when they stopped, so still fits the criteria. @F1Millie, drivers after they were told they wouldn't be able to overtake on this track, and I took that personally. Yeah, to be fair, we genuinely didn't think, and me included, didn't think they'd be able to follow that closely through the sort of mid to high speed corners, which is pretty much the entire racetrack. But they held on in that last sector, and then there were lots of overtakes into turn one. I didn't actually mind that too much. I know that people are going, well, turn one, amazing, the rest of the track a bit rubbish. But it's a reasonably shortish lap time, and 1 minute 20 odd, so we get round a lap pretty quick, and then there's another overtake into turn one. So I enjoyed it. Let us know in the comment section below, did you enjoy this track? Right guys, before we continue, please do subscribe to this WTF1 YouTube channel. We're coming to the end of the season. There is content coming out my ears, I promise you. We're doing pretty much, if not every single day of the week for the rest of the season, 1 video a day. So click that subscribe button, click that notification bell as well, and you will be notified every single time that we upload a video. Thank you, love ya. @BDETMac, signs of my boxing or not, Ferrari pitbull. That was so odd. It genuinely sounded like he was playing the recorder in some sort of year 2 assembly. I got sort of flashbacks to being in primary school myself, being forced to play not the flute, I didn't play the flute, the recorder in sort of break times and in lessons. Not all the lessons, I did learn other things, but it was just a funny team radio, wasn't it? @Munford1999, Hamilton and Verstappen with the fastest lap light. Yeah, that was pretty much the only fight we got to see between the two of them. Of course, Verstappen starting further back allowed Lewis to get that nice little buffer, and he was a bit quicker anyway. But it was interesting to see which way the 1 point's going to go, and although it didn't really matter because we knew at the end that if Red Bull were behind, they'd deploy both their drivers to take away the fastest lap from Mercedes and vice versa. But of course, with Bottas retiring, that opened the door for Red Bull to take that point. @Schiller_burned, me waking up when Bottas gets the puncture. Mr. Bean memes never fail to make me laugh. Well done, Burned. And you guys know I've seen a lot of Mr. Bean memes recently, but it was very true. And it was just a night. It was an enjoyable watch. That's what I would put the race down. It's not an absolute worldie where Verstappen and Hamilton are within a second and we don't know if they're going to crash. It was more like, okay, that's pretty much settled, but the midfield were popping off. We had a great fight for P3 as well. So I enjoyed it. It was good fun. And of course, Bottas then just had his front left go. Sparks everywhere. Proper firework display from Bottas to give us some serious entertainment and a bit of energy sort of refresh, recharge, because it did wake us up. Right, this next tweet is probably runner-up for tweet of the week. @Can_broken. Russell watching Bottas get a puncture. Oh, George, I'm not over it. I'm not over it in the slightest. I've watched those highlights a few times since, and it's just, I want to see that tyre. I do. I want to see if there was a legit big enough puncture. I say a big enough puncture, any puncture's bad enough, Matt, but you know what I mean. There's loads of conspiracy theories, but poor old George, he can relate to how Valtteri feels today. @HairDyeGinger, Bottas bringing his car back to the pits be like? Genuinely, Alonso driving through there was absolutely ridiculous. It was some sort of Back to the Future thing. It was incredible. Probably not for a Fernando who was probably a little bit scared to just drive straight through there, almost blind, but at the same time it made some very cool camera shots. At It's Tista, Alonso avoiding those sparks from Valtteri Bottas's car be like. Lots of memes like that one, but yeah, very much enjoyed it. And just, oh my goodness me. Valtteri was not holding back either. He was just driving. He must have been raging at that point. Like, I've got back through, podium on the cards. Oh no, my front left has exploded. This one was good. At Where It's At, watching the fastest lap point battle. That could, this championship could legitimately come down to 1 point. Genuinely, this is the craziest season ever. 8 points separate the two of them. If Hamilton wins and Verstappen gets second in the next race and neither of them get fastest lap, it's 1 point to Abu Dhabi. If Hamilton gets the fastest lap, it's level points. My brain will not be able to cope if we go into Abu Dhabi level on points. Legit. At Kimi is drink 48, Ocon right now, I guess it's my turn. I don't know what tickled me about this meme, but it's brilliant. Of course, Alonso, fighting so hard for that P3, comes over the team radio to say that Ocon needs to defend like a lion. I love the fact he has enough mental capacity to be able to think, you know what, I'm not just going to tell Ocon to defend, I'm going to explain it in a way that's enjoyable for the audience as well. Alonso is just such awesome entertainment, and I'm so happy that he has still got it. Like, genuinely, if you wanted evidence that Fernando has still got the talent that is within those incredible genes, then Qatar was it. At Ozamundo _ Alonso telling the team to activate Giga Ocon. Didn't really work. Maybe they pressed the wrong button, but in fairness to Esteban, he was on pretty old, hard tyres, I think, at the time, and Perez was on brand new mediums. So he did fight pretty damn hard after turn 1, and maybe very close to contact as well. But yeah, Esteban, he fought hard. He fought all he could possibly do because, DRS into turn 1 was pretty powerful. At F1 _ multi, I feel this is unfair, but I'm going to include it anyway. Alonso, tell Esteban to defend like a lion. Esteban. Oh no, he did fight. He wasn't a kitten. At Corey Legendre, Checo's race summed up. I mean, I'll just let you read this. I don't know what they were really thinking, Red Bull. They may have clarified since whilst I'm recording this, but it did seem like a very strange strategy to pit Checo again. Of course, there was the tyre concerns and whatnot, but yeah, there was just too much to do in too little time, and Fernando, of course, had to take it easy in those last couple of laps, but that VSC may well have saved Fernando from losing that podium, so yeah, he can thank Latifi for that one. At Phoenix TV X, live images of the track surface at Qatar. I know we were coming into this. Oh, it's a MotoGP track, mate. You can ride on the curbs. It's all flat. I think the elevation change is 2 meters. Nothing's going to be a problem for the tyres. Oh no. Enter medium to high speed corners everywhere and those serrated edges curbs. At JPBE Marshall, Pirelli leaving the paddock tonight. I don't know. I mean, they did warn that the mediums could only do, I think, 30 laps. And I think Valtteri was on 33, for example. But we don't tend to see that many blowouts. So clearly it was just very much nipping a curb and then the tyre just failing as opposed to getting some sort of warning for the teams. At DJ from the grid, tyres during the last stage of the race. You can tell we're on the last parts of the race, can't you? Because that was all that was happening, was just tyre blowouts everywhere. And yeah, it gave me those Silverstone from God knows when, years ago, when it just started blowing up everywhere. Had similar vibes to that. Social Media Team Championship time now. Who has scored points at the top? Haas? Mercedes? Someone else? Who is going to be leading into the last couple of rounds? We'll find out right now. In third place, we have Aston Martin Cognizant F1 team. How long did Valtteri's mediums last? Asking for a friend. It's good. It's good. It's a solid tweet from you, Aston. 1 point. In second place, we have McLaren F1. Someone forgot their pit stop kit. Now, yeah, I mean, David Beckham featured a lot in the broadcast, didn't he? Of course, it's great to see the man. He's a living legend, but at the same time, he was just included in everything. But this meme was very good, McLaren, so you get 2 points. And finally, the winners of the Social Media Team Championship for Qatar are Scuderia Ferrari. Now, I think this might be the first time they've ever won Social Media Team Championship, but fair play to them. They have picked up their social media game when the target is beating McLaren on track fair and square. Just brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant from Binotto, brilliant from Ferrari. Lovely stuff. So that's 1 point for Aston Martin, 2 points for McLaren, and 3 points for Ferrari. And it's all unchanged at the top.
And now it's time for Race Rundown with your host, Matthew Gallagher.
Right, race rundown time now, and I thought at one point there was going to be no DNFs because they were going for quite a while with 20 runners, but we got 18 finishers. Let's do it. The finishers of the Qatar Grand Prix were Hamilton, Verstappen, who is Bar? Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Perez, Ocon, Stroll. Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso. Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Perez, Ocon, Stroll, Sainz, Leclerc. I just mispronounced. Charles Leclerc. Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Perez, Ocon, Stroll, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris. Who is Norris? Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Perez, Ocon, Stroll, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Vettel, Gasly, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Russell, Mazepin. That was actually really good. Really good. Nice. Non-finishers. Latifi, Bottas. Bottas, Latifi. Lovely. Spat everywhere. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this internet's best reactions to the Qatar Grand Prix. Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comment section below. Hashtag WTF1 if you want to get involved in this series for the last 2 Grand Prix of the season. I am not mentally prepared for Formula 1 to be over and for this whole championship fight to come to an end, but be ready. In a couple of weeks' time, we will be back again, and I look forward to seeing you then. We'll have the podcast out tomorrow. Lots more content as well, so please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll love you and see you very soon. Bye!